So this is my theory. He's doing it for me because I hate editing my own voice.
Alright, this is a theory on how Thomas and Friends is connected to the popular horror game known as Choo Choo Charles. Are you ready? Well, neither was I. So I'm going to start with a few things that I found connecting Choo Choo Charles to Thomas and Friends. Now, we know there are scrapyards and scrapped trains aplenty throughout the 24 seasons of the show. And in Choo Choo Charles, there is scrap everywhere you go. Now, in King of the Railway, there's a mine with a kneaded box inside it, and the box holds King Godred's crown. And in Choo Choo Charles, you're told to go to a mine for a box near it which has goods for you. I mean, King Godred's crown is a good thing, right? Bit of a stretch, but still. Godred's crown is a good thing. Goods, kind of a bit of a parallel there. Now, forgotten trains like Hero, Stephen, Glyn, they're all just left to rot in forgotten sheds like Toby's are. Well, forgotten, and in Choo Choo Charles, you find a rusty old shed, or several rusty old sheds actually, and trains quite a bit. Most trains in Thomas and Friends have a face, and sure enough, Choo Choo Charles has a face. Now, many characters in Thomas can pick things up, like Kevin, Diesel 10, Old Wheezy, Happy Hook, Harvey, Rocky, and even Cranky. And in Choo Choo Charles, you can pick things up with your spider legs. Now, here comes the stuff that will absolutely convince you that these two are in fact connected. Number 1. Diesel 10 wants to destroy Lady the Lost Engine. Wait, destroy a train? Like what Choo Choo Charles wants to do to yours? Number 2. Didn't it strike you as odd when none of the people moved their mouths? Well, to me, they didn't just leave it like that. They planned it, because in the model era of Thomas and Friends, they do not move their mouths at all, unless you count Season 12, but that's not... Season 12 was not full model era. Now, before I get to the gist of it, I'm going to answer a few things. Number 1, who is Choo Choo Charles? Well, let's get you the answer. Gordon in The Great Race needs to be rebuilt as a faster engine, so they rebuilt him as a streamliner. Now, we know Steamies can be remade into different engines, but can a diesel, like Mavis or Diesel 10? Well, from what TLM knows, this is a theory by DTB, but I'm TLM recording it because he doesn't like to edit his own voice, which I can relate to. But anyway, from what I know, there was a steam engine that was like half steamy, half diesel. Go check out Train Boy's video on it. It's super informative, great video. So, if there was a diesel that can be made into a steamy, we know that basically Diesel 10 could be made into a steamy to be Choo Choo Charles. And so I headcanon that Diesel 10 is Choo Choo Charles. Diesels have always felt left out. Diesel 10 probably the most. I mean, literally everybody in the show basically hates him, except for Calling All Engines, but I don't know. They basically hate him. I mean, you look at Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Day of the Diesels, and even in the CGI era when Diesel 10 makes it into an episode, everybody just kind of hates him. Yeah. So Diesel 10 would probably feel left out the most, and Rusty probably the least, because who wouldn't be friends with Rusty? I mean, Rusty is like the character that everybody loves. Now, I think what most likely happened was after Diesel 10 fell off the bridge and Thomas and the Magic Railroad, pause. Fell off a bridge? Wait. Like what happened to Choo Choo Charles at the end of his game, getting the same ending he had before? Kind of another parallel there. Godred's crown is good? Goods. Diesel 10 falls off a bridge? Choo Choo Charles falls off a bridge. Anyways, my theory is that Diesel 10 was remade as a steamy, the biggest lol ever, and probably painted red as a lol on James. James the Brains, get us out of here. Yeah, anyway. And after he was remade as a steamy, he hid on Misty Island to await for the perfect time for his revenge. But while he did this, he waited, and he sadly died years later. Now, this comes from my theory on Can They Die? Being exposed to the elements, and he probably sat there just rotting for, say, 20 to 25 years, and during this time, a mutated spider crawled inside of dead Diesel 10, turning him into the evil killer train known as Choo Choo Charles. There are a few more things that I should address, like, what's the other island you visit in Choo Choo Charles? Well, I'll let Salty explain it for you.
Misty Island is a small island It's not far away, but
So yes, it's Misty Island. What train are you playing as? Well, the only logical answer is none other than Toby. Okay, no, actually, it is definitely Proteus, like, no doubt. Okay, no, actually, in all seriousness, it's Lady, the Lost Engine, and the same train Diesel 10 tries to kill. And since we know Diesel 10 is Choo Choo Charles, there is no reason that he tries to murder you and your train, now is there? Unless you're Lady. Because Diesel 10 wants to destroy Lady, Choo Choo Charles wants to destroy you. Diesel 10 fell off a bridge, Choo Choo Charles fell off a bridge. You have good King Godred's crown and the goods in the mine. There's too many parallels. It can't be a coincidence. Now, as long as she exists, so do the others. But if she were destroyed, like the D word? Yeah, destroyed. I don't think Twinkle Toes will let you do that. I can do whatever I want, right? So Diesel 10 is kind of like this canonically evil guy who thinks he can do whatever he wants. And so basically, if he wants to destroy Lady, he's going to do it. And he has his heart set on that. He has his heart and mind set on destroying Lady. Choo Choo Charles has his heart and mind set on destroying you. I mean, again, too many parallels to be a coincidence. Now, who is the Walter White looking guy? Well, my theory is that it's like Sir Topham Hatt's ancestor. We know that the Sir Topham Hatt of the show is Sir Bertram Topham Hatt. So perhaps it's his grandfather. Who knows? But anyway, it was his ancestor who was told to go back to the island to contain the evil train living there. And the island of Sodor was later renamed Aranarum due to the Arachnid Diesel 10 that was living there. Now, Two-Star Games, whether on purpose or on accident, made it so clear that these two are connected. And this isn't really a theory, as it is more of just truth. The truth of Choo Choo Charles. Again, there's way too many parallels for this to be just simply a coincidence. It has to be, there has to be some conspiracy here where they tried to make it connect. It seems too unlikely to be a coincidence. And if you were wondering, where does this take place? Well, it takes place in the hit model era, from seasons 9 to 12. So that's about it. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go watch Matt Pett's video on Choo Choo Charles and put in the comments how many times I said Choo Choo Charles in the video. So yeah, until next time, keep theorizing. Bye. Theory by DTB. Audio by TLM. Video by DTB. And huge shout out to Unlucky Tug and TLM. Thank you so much for getting me into Thomas and Friends and for the info you've provided me. And shout out to Jack for playing through Choo Choo Charles and giving me the great amount of info. So yeah, until next theory, bye, and more. A lot more stuff on the way soon. As DTB gets his new phone, because he doesn't like to charge it at all. So yeah, for real this time, bye. Beware the bus. His name is Gus. He's not on the island, though, so don't worry too much. When you go back to the mainland, don't ride the bus. Gus, bus, bus the Gus. He's bad and fast. Charles fears Gus. But who is it?